Hi, I'm Heather, and I'm going to do a weekly wrap up of the things that I did accomplish that I can be very proud of and celebrate. Some of them are very small and some of them are bigger. And I need to say out loud that this particular version of the video, I have convinced myself I do not have to share it unless I really, really like it. Because this is pre-yoga. You know, I have had some breakfast and that's definitely adds to my clarity. But okay, so I recognize a pattern of behavior both in myself and in some of my closest beloveds that, and I'll say I, but I really am thinking of multiple people besides just me. I will have expectations that certain things will happen at a pace that is much faster than is a reasonable expectation. Like how quickly a project can come together, for example, like what realistic timelines are, and how, yeah, it's another layer of reprogramming, finding my flow, my individual flow, and what are reasonable expectations, which they also change. So I noticed inside my head, I was saying things to myself like, fuck, I'm just not getting enough done. And what if things don't work out? And what if I don't start making some money soon? And what if, all these scary things that are all potentials, they're all realistic. They all are potentially realistic things that could happen. But then I started to think of the things that I have accomplished. I yesterday spent time with family, and I feel like kept my cool really pretty well. Felt connected to them, and also took time to be by myself, which is a big thing that I'm noticing is important for me to be aware of, is how much alone time I need on any particular day or in a particular week. Like, there's a formula that I'm just figuring out. And I moved multiple projects forward in a really big way. There's one I'm really excited about where I'm teaming up with this guy, Kent. He created a really awesome course that I have checked out. I haven't completed it though. And I decided I really wanted to invite other people to do it with me. And so I had, a series of brainstorm meetings with myself about it. And then one morning I felt really inspired, like, you know what, I'm just going to reach out to Kent and see what he thinks, what he has to say. If he's interested, maybe he'll join me. Maybe he'll do stuff with me. And yeah, so one day I messaged him, and then the next day I requested that we move the conversation. He's like, yeah, let's talk. Move the conversation to WhatsApp. I think the next day I sent him a message, like it just did one small action each day. And now the action that I need to do today is create the actual group. And I was noticing how I was beating myself up that part wasn't already done. But when I thought back on my week, I was like, I have made significant progress on the project. I've received things from him that I asked for. I have everything I need to at least set up a basic format for the group. And he and I've scheduled a business meeting with him. That's another huge win. I have multiple meetings next week with potential collaborators, or benefactors, or friends too. They're all friends also. Another good friend of mine and I have created a YouTube channel that where we share like our most raw moments. Some of them are with each other, some of them are individual, and we need to get that ready for publishing and releasing. I got planned scheduling with my new assistant, who's also my daughter, which will be time that we'll get to spend together on a regular basis. I moved several conversations forward in a significant way with my sweetheart. We take months to have conversations sometimes. Most often, though, it's maybe a week. The pace, we both enjoy a very slow pace of pressure. That's, I'd have to say a whole lot more for that to make more sense. Okay. Yeah, what I'd envisioned when I came here to make this video was I was going to list some things and be really, really concise and brief. So later I'll watch this and see, well, what do I think? Oh gosh, I just did a bunch of stuff this morning too. I even spent half of one day just being like really, really sad and in a really difficult space. That took up half of a whole day. I had a business meeting with one of my clients. Gosh, I took somebody to the airport. I helped Portland woo her a little bit. She's thinking of moving here. I'm like, oh, let me show you some gorgeous places. Yeah. I stood up for my kiddo. I made sure that her boundaries were respected and honored. I had a really good week. And if I hadn't kind of spent a few moments rewinding it and noting specifically the things that I did really well, in addition to the things that are very easy to call up, the things that I didn't do so well. It's a both and. They were both true. I fall into things that feel like depression and anxiety when I allow too much of my focus to be tuned towards the things that didn't go well or that I am worried about in the future. When I train much more of my attention into what I'm doing in this moment, so I do one thing at a time instead of 17, or I, connect fully with the person I'm actually speaking to, rather than being on my phone or taking notes or whatever while they're talking to me. And when I also pay a lot of attention to what I am doing well. High-fiving myself. Hey, look, you just finished 2 full bottles of water and it's only 1 in the afternoon. Good for you. Well done. You're well on track to your 60 ounces of water a day. Ooh, look at this amazing, yummy, delicious meal that you just ate. Good job. Oh, you said eat like a child in this meal? Okay, well, you deserve that too. I was recovering from an intense workshop this week too, and I still accomplished so much, including getting this onesie and some other cozy clothes to wear outside when I see friends at Goodwill. I got a really good deal. Goodwill's a good place to shop. I did 2 loads of laundry this week. Jesus. Okay. It's time for me to move on to yoga. I also did not intend for this video to get quite so long. I'd like to stay a little more concise, a little more on topic. Okay, hope you have a kick-ass day, because I know I will.